Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a Legacy video every Friday. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by joining the Patreon. Here you can gain access to continuously updated documents like a sideboard guide, a primer on Legacy Doomsday, and gain access to the Neville Shoot Discord server. So come join the community at patreon.com/NevilleShootMTG. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the video. Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another Legacy video, and today I am playing Coveted Jewel combo in Legacy. I released a video, I think about a month or so ago by the time you're watching this, where I played this deck. I had a good time. It seems like you guys all more or less liked it, so I'm back playing this deck. I've made a couple of few tweaks, mainly taking inspiration from the creator of this deck, or at least one of the co-creators, I don't know, Tony Scaponi. And I saw a list where Tony was playing this sweet card. I think it's from Alliances originally. So Latnam's Legacy is an instant that where you shuffle a card from your hand, and then at the next upkeep you draw 2 cards. So it is card neutral. You're just basically removing this card from your hand and then a random card you don't want, not a random one, but like a card that you isn't useful to you, and then hopefully you draw some good cards. I'm really excited to see how this plays out. I'm not sure, but like I think Tony won a challenge playing this card, so I think it's at least a fun old card to cast, and I do think like this deck, it doesn't have the cantrips, right? So it has stock up to search for spells, but if you don't have stock up, then this is a way to like get rid of a redundant land or something and try to find, a combo piece. I I decided to add 4 Leyline of the Void to the sideboard because I have been running into just a lot of Oops All spells lately, and I'm not even sure how awesome that is, but it does completely break their main avenue to win, and hopefully then the lodestone golems and the additional force of negations can sort of close out the game. I also got my hands on Ugin Eye of the Storms, so excited to play with this in the sideboard. I'm not completely sure where you want this the most, but it does seem pretty neat versus, like blue decks where it comes in and has a cast trigger, so they need consigned memory basically to negate at least something happening here. And it is a win condition all of its own. Yeah, it's just all around super powerful card. And yeah, I don't know. I've been coming to terms with the fact that for me this deck, it's about piling on, like presenting must counter threats again and again. Um, and eventually your opponent runs out of counter spells, hopefully. And Ugin is another one. It's a 7 mana one, so it's the most expensive one, but yeah. All right, I think that's probably enough here, so I'm gonna go jump into a league. All right, we're on the draw here. I'm gonna keep this hand. It does falter in the sense that, like, the first thing you want to check with this deck is your lands, and like in your hand, like this deck is very vulnerable to being mana screwed because it doesn't play that many lands, and it's very vulnerable to wasteland. But the fact that we have a soul land into a Grim Monolith makes me want to keep this. Having the Emrakul in hand is a little bit of a brick, but this is a turn to the One Ring. Oh, and it's the Ancient Tomb Mirror. That makes me happy that probably at least there won't be any wastelands in my immediate future, but that's no guarantee. Here's Grim Monolith. A card my opponent did not present on turn 1 out of their Ancient Tomb. If they go... Oh, what's this? Is this like Kozilek's Command or something? I think I am just going to slam the ring here and not tap Ancient Tomb. They could have Disruptor Flute here in response, but doesn't appear to be the case. Let's draw a card, and we'll pass. Alright, they're just passing. Alright, we take our draw. Alright, my opponent took a long time to respond here, but we find... I thought they were maybe going to time out, but luckily they did not. We draw Ancient Tomb. Let's activate the One Ring and draw 2 cards. And I think we just get the show on the road here. So we're gonna tap out. We're gonna tap out to transmute artifact the ring into a coveted jewel. And we have 1 copy effect as it is. We get the coveted jewel here. We have to pay 2 or it never enters play. Make sure to yield here. And we draw 2 copy effects. That's excellent. Wait, did I play? No. Yeah, no, I did. I played a snow-covered island, I think. Oh, hang on. Nettleshoot turn 3. I have 3 lands in play. Yeah, I played Snow-Covered Island. Maybe that was a punt. No, I needed the 2 blue mana to transmute. That's why I did it. Sorry. Just a little mental housekeeping here. Copy artifact on the snow-covered, or the coveted jewel. Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to lose from here. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin a coveted jewel into a paradox engine. And that should lock up things here. We have 2 mana left. Let's copy artifact that untaps my Grim Monolith and Coveted Jewel, and the opponent has seen enough. Okay, so we're up against Ancient Tomb, pass. This is a little bit strange. Ancient Tomb decks probably have stuff in them where we want Force of Negation. That could not be the case, like if they're an initiative deck. But what initiative deck keeps that opening hand? Could be the Mirror, and they were like just building up to a Coveted Jewel on turn 3. Like if they had triple Ancient Tomb, Coveted Jewel in their opening. I think the Chaos Defiler is a decent enough thing to bring in. I don't think Ugin is necessarily good here because... So, Ugin is good versus stuff that isn't colorless, and we saw double Ancient Tomb is the only thing, so... Bring in these 3. Maybe the Show and Tells can come out. I'm a little bit concerned about like casting Show and Tell versus Ancient Tomb decks. But that might be incorrect, I don't know. Well, let's try this. Alright. And this is a pretty decent hand, I think. We could turn to Stock Up if we want to. That City of Traders is a little bit sus. Oh, this is Show and Tell. This is, or Sneak and Show. Okay. Or I think so, at least. What deck does this? Is this like the... Oh, it's Defense Grid. Like the Force of Will could be a little bit of a thing about like using it or losing it, but I think them playing Defense Grid versus us is a little bit dangerous for them as well. I'm just gonna let this happen. If they go turn... Oh! Okay, I was wrong. This is a Storm deck. Alright. Well... So it's Ruby Storm, I guess? Alright, well... I'm just gonna beeline for a win here and hope that I get it, and that they're... Like, the fact that they didn't drop out any artifacts last turn doesn't mean they don't have them. There's Ancient Tomb, that's already a lot of mana. Uh-oh, what's happening? Urgi. Okay, I mean... They might dump a lot of zeros here and go off. Hopefully they'll pass the turn. So we have some decisions to make here. We can cast Coveted Jewel. And that is a little bit risky. Like if we don't find a copy effect. But we do have Sink into Stupor, and that is conveniently cast by Coveted Jewel, so we can always bounce Bergie so that she doesn't attack us and draw 3 and steal the Coveted Jewel. But then the problem is, like, will they just kill us next turn? And we're sort of losing all of our mana here, but I think I like it. I think because we have the Sink as a sort of backdoor get out here. Another option, of course, is to play the One Ring, but then no, I don't like that. And we're sort of not leaving ourselves with a lot here. Okay. Copy artifact, so at least we get to keep the party going a little bit. Let's get more Coveted Jewel. There's a transmute artifact. Will that do it? So let's see here. We float 3, or we have 4 mana floating. We can copy artifact, get Paradox Engine, play Lotus Petal that untaps stuff. And then what's the plan from there? We can the One Ring. I mean, we can get to a point where we cast Chaos Defiler as well. I think this is the play. Yeah, let's get rid of Coveted Jewel, get Paradox Engine, and we cast this Lotus Petal. So let's see how well we do. We cast the One Ring. Hang on, maybe I'm supposed to float a different color. No, because I have the Lotus Petal. I think it's okay that I float blue here. Cast the One Ring. The One Ring also benefits hugely from Paradox Engine. So we draw a card. That's another ring. I guess we can make black mana here, and then we cast the Chaos Defiler. And that can kill Bergie. And then we draw 2 more cards. That's another Coveted Jewel. Yeah, we've won here. I think we almost have enough mana to just cast the Emrakul in our hand in a moment. Like we actually just have yeah, we have mana for that. Let's cast this Latnam's whatchamacallit. Just to ramp mana, and we can hide away an Ancient Tomb. And then we have enough mana to cast Emrakul and just kill them. Sweet. And their defense grid stopping them from like interacting here. Not that I think a deck like theirs would, but you know, Mindbreak Trap. Oh, and we draw 2 cards from Latnam. Hey. So we got to resolve Latnam. I'm happy about that. All right, sweet. Off to winning start. Let's go for round number 2. I don't think we can keep this. Let's mulligan. Yeah, we'll keep this. And probably we'll bottom an island. Yeah. This is a little bit slow. This is a turn 3 of the One Ring currently with Force of Will. Okay, this could be oops. It could be initiative. It could be Verdant Catacombs is probably Cradle Control. So we have to watch out for, I guess, Thoughtseize, Orcish Bowmasters, and Collector Roof out of the stack. Bird to Paradise, okay. The old birdie. Coveted Jewel A. Okay, basic island go. A soul land gives us turn 2 ring, but would also give us turn 3 Coveted Jewel. If we give up on the One Ring, we'll accept a white of the Rulikuri. Yeah, that is a very scary creature normally, but I think for what we're planning here, it's okay. 3rd land. Okay, so this is turn 3 Jewel if we want. But I don't know that we want. Like, if we don't draw a copy effect, it's a little bit dicey because they'll have the ability to steal the ring or the jewel. Alright, they got a Dried Arbor and it's their turn. Green Suns for 2 is a no-go here. That'll get Collector Roof and ruin our day. What's this land? Ba Sing Se. Earthbend activate only a sorcery. Target land you control becomes a 0/0. Okay. So this is the same as that Badgermole Cub, like the same effect, it's just it's on a land and it costs 3 mana. Right. Okay. We take 3 here. Maybe more, I don't know. No. And copy effect? Paradox Engine. This is a little bit iffy. I don't think we can play out the ring here, or the jewel. I think we have to play out ring, but that will tap our Grim Monolith, unfortunately. It's still like, it's not the end of the world if we draw a land and a transmute artifact or something like that. In the next few cards, we'll be fine. We could also copy artifact the Grim Monolith right now. Yeah, I think maybe that's the play. We have to fade them killing us and finding Collector Roof on this next turn. We'll copy the Grim Monolith and pass. So the whites up something here. They might just like have enough to well, they can't kill us, right? Because of the ring. But they could natural order for Collector Roof. That would effectively kill us. Yeah, I think it's Collector Roof or bust. Black mana was momentarily tapped. Oh, this is so scary. It's 4 mana. Yeah, this is natural order. Gross. Well, they do play, I suppose, 8 of those effects, and they've had 2 natural order and Greens and Zenith. Yeah, I'm just going to concede. Move on with life. I know that I could draw, like, Otawara, I guess, or Sing into Stupor. But, I don't know. It's like 3 outer, and, yeah, not interested. Let's get the Chaos Defiler, and let's get the Ugin. And I don't know that I want a whole lot else. So what do we take out here? Show and Tell is a way to get Chaos Defiler into play if they have Oof out. Maybe we cut a Jewel and the One Ring. Yeah, let's try this. Alright, we will be on the play for game number 2. Oof, this is close. But ultimately, probably a no-go. I mean, this is one land, and we get to Show and Tell. Fuck it, I'm gonna keep this. This is super stupid. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get punished here, but I couldn't help myself. If we find a blue source, we have Show and Tell Jewel, and then we have 2 copy effects. If we don't find the blue source, but find like another city or an ancient tomb, we get the One Ring as consolation prize. If they have Wasteland, we'll just cry. I could force that, honestly. I could see that being a thing here, but just to stop them from hitting Wasteland. I will have to Force of Will a Thoughtseize here. Yeah, that's what's happening. Force of Will, pitch. I guess it's Transmute, because that... No, I mean, that's the one we're keeping. Okay. And, I mean, Show and Tell is not without risk, right? If they just have the oof in hand. Come on, land. Okay, I'll take it. And now, hopefully Ring will draw us a blue land. And please don't wreck my life here by just slamming an oof naturally. Okay, that's not oof. And now we need to draw Force of Will or win, I think, because I think they will present us with an oof next turn. Yeah, an oof. One way or another. Chaos Defiler. That's fun. Yeah, we didn't get it. We can still like just draw an island, and if they have Collector Roof next turn, then we can Show and Tell in the Chaos Defiler. And but then they can still like blink out the oof with the Talon Gates, but maybe that's not the end of the world, then at least the ring comes on for a turn. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's not Collector Roof. Oh, but they can still have it here. But they need to have it from hand now, again, because this guy doesn't generate mana. Okay, so they're just loading up. Well, our deck now has to deliver. We get 4 cards here on top of what's in our hand. Please, deck, don't betray me now. We need blue mana, or I guess any land, Okay, good. If they have something nasty in their hand, they're gonna get to put it in here. But if not, then I think hopefully we will be able to cobble together a win here. So we're gonna Show and Tell and put in the Coveted Jewel, and they just had a land. Do they have answers here with the trigger on the stack? This costs 2 to activate, right? Yeah. Okay, we got to draw stuff. I'm gonna play the Grim Monolith here. And we have, like, the world is our oyster here. We're gonna... I am just gonna transmute for... Oh no, maybe that was a mistake. No, no, it's not. It's fine. I'm I'm gonna transmute away the One Ring. I don't like all these pauses, like if they have Mindbreak Trap or something. Okay, get the Paradox Engine. We'll pay one with one of the colorless. And then we cast Copy Artifact. Get to untap. That becomes a jewel. Man, when this deck is doing its stuff, it's just so ridiculously broken. It's quite funny. Play a Grim Monolith. Generate lots of mana. We can just cast Emrakul now. Would be nice to find a Force of Will just in case. I don't know. I know what they would have that I would care about. We could also just start like playing the Chaos Defiler and copying it a bunch of times and wipe their board. So far, no Force of Will. Maybe it's better that I just don't show them the Chaos Defiler. I'm gonna play the One Ring. We gain protection from everything. I think I'm just gonna do like click through some stuff here and be quiet, and I'll edit out the silence and then come back when I presented them with a win. All right, we found Force of Will. Let's just draw some more cards. And I guess I'll cast Emrakul. They only have the untapped Elvish Reclaimer here. Like the whites are not untapped or do have summoning sickness here, so I don't think they can do anything here. Okay, and then Emrakul drew out the concession. All right, sweet. I don't believe I want anything else here. You could make a case where like an early Lodestone Golem might do some work here, but I don't think, especially not on the draw, I don't think so. So what's this hand do? This hand goes turn 2 stock up. And what happens if I get Thought Seized? Then it doesn't do a lot. I think I'm gonna mulligan this hand. It doesn't have any of our combo pieces. Neither does this, but I don't want to go down any further, so let's take this and let's get rid of possibly the Otawara. Yeah, let's get rid of Otawara. If they take our show and tell here, it kind of sucks, but okay. No turn 1 Thoughtseize. You might have to think then that they will have a route to oof here. Why else keep the hand? That's kind of all this game is about, this matchup, I think. Talon Gates, okay. And that flips that one out. Why is that important? Yeah, here comes Green Suns for 2. So we have to hope to find our Chaos Defiler or I guess Emrakul. We could also just, if we get to a point where we can transmute something into the Chaos Defiler, that's also pretty good. I think I'm going to cast Stock up here. So Force of Will, that's like a turn too late, I guess. So what is it? Force of Will and Ancient Tomb? What does that do? We could also go One Ring and Ancient Tomb. So we cast the One Ring next turn that time walks. And then if we get like another blue mana, we get to transmute for the Chaos Defiler. And then we can start copying it. Is that better than... That means giving up on Force of Will, and so their next turn they get to do something nasty. I think I'm just going to take Force of Will and Ancient Tomb, and then hope that like they can't punish our life total too much. This is Thoughtseize, huh? That's a problem. Like they probably take the show and tell here. I think I let them Thoughtseize this. I don't think it's worth 2 cards. They might take Force of Will and then play something nasty, but yeah. Elvish Reclaimer, okay, and they did take show and tell, yeah. We take 2. Okay, so what needs to happen here? If I draw One Ring next turn and then draw double blue, like draw blue land, then maybe, but we're running out of time here, and these Ancient Tombs are going to chew us up. And now the Elvish Reclaimer is in play, so they probably have a second copy of Talon Gates, I would imagine. think it's pretty stock to play 2. Another Reclaimer. Yikes. This is going to get worse before it gets better. Okay. I'm taking 3 down to 13. No, 2. Okay, they're holding back Reclaimer. So I'm at 14. I'm going to take 2 more in a sec from, yeah. And I think maybe I'm supposed to put away Force of Will here. Or is it the redundant, the Revoker? Or the Metamorph, I mean. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the Metamorph. So that went away. We go to our turn, we draw 2 cards. Has to be good. Oh man! That's so bad, unless I draw Show and Tell right now. Crap, now I can't even transmute for it. I did kind of get what I needed. If only kind of. Because this would require... Let's see. I guess I don't have to pay life to play this Monolith. But it all doesn't matter because I drew the goddamn Chaos Defiler. Yeah, so like if I hadn't drawn this, exactly this, I could have cast the like cast Grim Monolith now, pass. I take 2, 3, 4, potentially 8. But let's say 4 if we're lucky. I take 4 damage. Then I untap. Then I pay 2 blue mana. And then I have to take 4 more from the Ancient Tomb, so maybe it's just too much to pay the difference between the Grim Monolith and the Chaos Defiler. With my transmute, I get that, and then it still doesn't really matter. So, is there an out here? Well, I'm gonna cast this Grim Monolith and pass. I'm not sure what would even have to happen here if I draw Sink into Stupor. Oh, actually, I'm just gonna concede here. I don't think I have a win. So let's move on to game number 3. All right, we're on the play for round number 3. I'll keep this. It's a pretty good hand. We can either stock up on turn 2 or cast Show and Tell and have the One Ring. So let's see. Misty Rainforest, go. I think I like casting stock up, to be honest. Okay, so we need the snow-covered island, and I think we want Transmute Artifact here. I think that's the strongest of the other cards. We pass. And we hope to not get wastelanded, but if we do, it's not the end of the world. We're going to lose the city next turn anyways. Okay, so this is a Dimir deck, at least blue-black. It might also have other colors, who knows. They kept a card on top. Grixis A. This could mean Bowmasters. Ooh, that's nice. Alright, I think I'm going to cast the One Ring here. Or maybe I'm supposed to Show and Tell. So if I Show and Tell the One Ring, we don't get protection. No, I think I'm gonna get the protection here. I will fight over this. They have force pitch Brainstorm. I will force pitch one of the Metamorphs. Looks like they're not done. Okay, so they have Bowmasters, sure. So Ring enters, we get protection, and we draw. Alright, and we pass. So ideally they don't have Wasteland here because that lets us, I guess, or Daze, because that lets us transmute away the Ring next turn and get a Jewel. Barrowwolf, yeah. That's all good. And if we just get Jewel in here, I'm not too worried about Bowmasters because we have Metamorph. But let's see. For now, we can start drawing some cards and just view this as Yawgmoth's Bargain. We just pay 1 life per card. Yeah. We drew Force of Will, which is nice in case they do have Daze or have found another force for our transmute. Alright, so it's going to cost some life here, but that's okay. So we transmute away the One Ring. It did find another force, okay. Pitching Dress Down. I'll force back pitching Stock Up. Maybe it was supposed to be Show and Tell? Nah, Show and Tell is better, I think. Daze still gets us here, by the way. Okay, so we get rid of One Ring. We get Coveted Jewel. And we pay 2. That takes us down to 10. We're about to go down to 7 here. We draw another copy artifact. That's good. So now we have two ways of sort of ignoring the bowmasters. All right, I am a little bit concerned here that we might not be able to pull this off, but let's see. So if I go make 3 mana, wait, have I played my land drop here? I don't think that I have. Okay, that's pretty big. Oh wait, I have. Damn, I lost track of that somewhere. Oh yeah, played a snow-covered land. So what we could do is get a ring in play. That gives us protection, but that costs us 4 mana. I have 3 right now. I can pay 2 to get another shot and like another jewel. That puts us to 4 life. That takes us up to 4 mana. And then what happens? I guess I can show and tell the metamorph into play and kill the bowmasters. That gives us 2 blockers. Well, let's take a little bit more damage here. I feel confident if their last card in hand was another bowmasters, they would have played that over the Barrowgoyf. Okay, we draw 3. Lotus Petal would be a great draw here. Oh, Grim Monolith is also good. That's +1 mana. Alright, so let's tap this. So how does this work? We have 5 mana, so we can show and tell. That puts in Metamorph, kills their Bowmaster. Then we have 2 mana left, we can copy Artifact. But we run the risk of whatever is in their hand being nasty, but I think that's the route here. Let's cast Show and Tell. Hope they just have like another Barrowgoyf or a Murktide or a land, I don't know. Okay, we put in Metamorph. What is this? Ooh. Necromancy. You can cast the spells. Yeah, okay. If you cast a sorcery, when the enchantment enters, if it is on the battlefield, it becomes an aura with enchant creature. So, how does all this happen? It's AppNap, right? So my trigger goes on the stack first. And oh, this isn't a trigger. God damn it. This just happens. So now I kill the bowmasters, but then they get... Oh, okay, yeah, my trigger happens first. Good. Okay. There was a trigger somewhere there. So I'll target their bowmasters. Then their necromancy trigger happens. There's nothing there. Okay. Phew. And now we hopefully can cobble together a win here, but it might be tight. But like even if they don't, if we aren't able to win, we have 2 blockers for their 2 attackers right now, so they're not gaining jewels. I'm at 4 here. I think I'm gonna stock up and hope to find Force of Will, because I have run out of things to do here. No Force of Will. There's a Lotus Petal. Does that do anything here? I don't think so. So yeah, if they get one block, like one removal spell here, something that kills one of my creatures, they get to draw 9 cards, and then I've lost the game. Let's get Sink into or Petal and I don't know. Not sure it matters. Sink into Stupor maybe, in case we need to bounce something. And I think I'll just pass here. I'll keep my Petal in. No, it shouldn't really matter, the Petal. Guess I'll play it. Yeah, like because we'll have like if we lose the jewels, we've lost the game, and if we don't, we'll have so much mana anyways that it won't matter. I'll put Ancient Tomb in the graveyard. Please don't draw like Lightning Bolt or any removal spell ever. Uh-oh. Dak Faden, what can you do? Gain control, but that... Oh, gain control of target artifact for -2. But that it doesn't untap, and Jewel doesn't work that way. Okay, I think maybe we're fine. Yeah. I have to block, because that... Otherwise, I just instantly lose. And now they can plus the DAC, but they have 0 cards in hand, so that won't work. I'll just loot 2 things away. So unless they have... Okay, they're going to gain control of a jewel. That's fair. And hopefully it's sort of a formality to win now. There's a force of will. So I'll play out a City of Traders as well. I will cast a Coveted Jewel here. That draws some copying stuff and a transmute artifact. And yeah, the transmute artifact should do it. So let's get rid of a jewel, get Paradox Engine, and then we can just copy a jewel. And I don't want to pay life because I don't have to. This untaps everything. Copy the jewel, and I'll shut up here while I do the clicking. Alright, so we found Emrakul, and we're actually at a little bit of an interesting stage here, because I will have to, I guess I don't have to, but I have to remember the One Ring, because I'll be getting a Time Walk turn here. I guess we'll see if the opponent wants to just concede. If they don't, then we can loop the Emrakul. Yeah, I guess they don't want to do that. I'm just gonna transmute away the One Ring here so that I don't accidentally forget and lose the game. I'll get a Grim Monolith. And then what I'll do is I'll cast a Phyrexian Metamorph. That will copy the Emrakul. I'll keep the copy. The Emrakul goes to the graveyard and shuffles in. And then we take our Time Walk turn, and we can get another Emrakul next turn. And that way, like, they don't get to keep whatever. They don't get to keep, like, DAC, or I don't know. I don't think anything really matters, but you never know. Alright, so we attack. I'll attack them. They sacrifice, leaving what? Barrowglyph? On the 10/10, sure. I mean, I'll just cast the One Ring, and I guess it's actually not completely trivial because they'll get all my jewels, but they can still only play 1 land. Okay, what just happened? Oh yeah, my Emrakul untapped, of course. Yeah, no, in this case it's actually fine too, because then I get to bounce one of the creatures. And oh no, I guess it should be Barrowglyph, because I don't want Emrakul to get death touched. And then we do get to block the army, and then they don't get to steal our jewels. Okay. Our opponent's making us play this out because I've also just eaten up a whole lot of time on the clock. A bunch of that was from clicking, but a bunch of it was actually also because I had to take a phone call. So the clicking in this deck is nowhere near as atrocious as with something like Food Chain, or, you know, yeah, just decks where, I guess, Bomberman, where you have to create a lot of mana. The mana generation is so much faster here because each jewel taps for 3. Opponent takes their turn. I take 1 damage from my ring, and we kill them. I think I'll have to close down the game log here, honestly, because I think it's eating up, like, the Magic Online is just a pretty poor program, and it eats up a lot of memory, and my computer can struggle at times, and I think at times it interferes with the recording, the quality of the recording. So I think I'm actually going to do that now, especially when there are so many game objects in play and so many game actions being taken with like triggers off of Paradox Engine and all the jewels. Alright, so we're up against a Grixis deck. The Necromancy makes me think it might be like World Gorger Dragon or have some kind of combo element. In any case, I think Chaos Defiler is an interesting card. I think Ugin is an interesting card. I don't want Lodestone Golem because they probably have Lightning Bolt. They are a deck that cares about the graveyard in some capacity, but I don't feel like boarding in Leyline of the Void. But I do want defense grids. I think I just accept it if I get comboed out, and then so I'm going to board out my Force of Wills, and maybe I'll board out a couple of Show and Tells as well, because they might have Atraxa or something. Yeah, let's try this. Yeah, this seems fine. We get to stock up, have plenty of lands to play the game. If they Thoughtseize this turn one, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. That doesn't appear to be what's happening. I think I do play out my soul lands first. Like if I'd played out an island and then I draw the One Ring, for instance, then I mean now I have a pedal, but still, I think it might be worth it. By the way, how awesome was that? Just like beating that Bowmasters. I love I love how this deck has like a fair amount of just built-in protection versus Bowmasters between Friction Metamorph and the One Ring. In the last league I played, I think I played um, Born Upon a Wind. Ooh, and they're missing their land drop. Oh, okay. They have Ponder. Yeah, no, I was playing Born Upon a Wind. I saw that in one of Tony's lists, and I had a little bit of a hard time figuring out exactly what it was for. And someone pointed out that it was a way to beat Bowmasters in the comment section, and I can see that, but um, it might be better because unlike a One Ring or a Metamorph, it's just like it's a very cheap mana play. But I'm not sure still though. Okay, so they probably, or at least possibly, are able to Pyroblast us here, but that's a Pyroblast that's going to be sitting around anyways. I'm going to try this out, see what happens. Ooh, that just happened. Okay, I think I like Ugin. I think I like Defense Grid. And then I'll play out my pedal so I don't have to move to discard. And we'll pass. They're passing again. And this time they did miss a land drop, so we have to assume their hand is pretty stacked with stuff. Alright, I'm going to play Defense Grid here. See if I can lure out a Consigned to Memory. Force of Will pitching Consigned to Memory. That's a very interesting choice. And then they're fetching in my main phase. Interesting. What's going on here? Fetching a Taiga. I will just pass. This could be a Bowmasters. Red mana. Yeah, okay. It is Bowmasters. Alright, so I take 2. I go to 15. And then I can take 2 more, go to 13. Oh, I could also just try and cast the One Ring. But I was going to say, I could take 2 more, go to 13, try and cast Ugin. And then if Ugin resolves, it's all honky-dory. If it doesn't, then I'm at 13. I go down to 11 afterwards. I could also try the One Ring right now. I don't hate that, actually. It also takes me down to 13 right now, but it could lure out... If it could lure out like a Consign to Memory here, that's what I'm mostly concerned about, because if not, then the Ugin cast trigger at least will vindicate the Bowmasters. And then they'll... Okay. Oh, that's just it. Sweet. I will pass here before drawing, at least until their upkeep, in case they want to flash into Bowmasters here. Okay, that didn't appear to be what's happening. I'll draw on their upkeep. Copy artifact. Yeah, that's pretty good. That gives us a 2 mana The One Ring with the protection trigger. Take 1. Another jewel. Okay. Is it time for Ugin? I think it is. Please don't have consign. Ugin trigger targets Bowmasters. Force of Will counters the Ugin. What about the trigger? Okay, that kills the Bowmasters. I'll pass, because I might as well draw after their army attacks rather than... I can take 2 rather than 3. And a Barrogoyf. Okay, I mean, if they have another force here, that's pretty good. Okay, we take 2. I'm about to take some more damage here, but this will be the turn that the game is either won or lost. Oh yeah, no, they don't have Bowmasters anymore. Never mind. What am I even talking about? Well, I will activate the ring right now, just see if I can find a defense grid, because that would be pretty nice. Just not have to worry about anything. But I didn't. Okay. Which mana do I have? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 with the pedal in hand. So I can't afford to cast a jewel here. That just happened. Okay, I don't think they have anything. And now I think the only thing that I can lose to now is the clock. Let's transmute here. We can get rid of ring, get paradox engine, and we will pay the extra. Oh, it's only one. And then we can cast pedal. That untaps. And so we will cast copy artifact. And again, I'll shut up here while I do the clicking. Alright, they cast surgical extraction on my one ring. They get to take 2 out of my hand, but that doesn't really matter anymore. There's a defense grid. I'll just play that in case they have more things in their hand, but I don't expect that to be the case. An opponent is making me play this out, even though they are at 14 life. There is no extra turn coming for them once Emrakul is presented, but fair enough. If that is your chance to win, that's your chance to win. But luckily we found the Emrakul and don't have to keep looking. Emrakul is on the stack, so it's the Time Walk trigger. I don't have any rings that can kill me. I am going to yield until the next end step and discard a whole bunch of stuff. And we go to turn, Time Walk turn, move to combat, and swing for the win. Alright, cool. And we took game 3. Let's go, or the round 3. Let's go for round number 4. Alright, we are on the draw here for round number 4, and this is a mulligan. This hand is kind of just this nothing. It has 2 cards we rather not have in our hand. This has no lands. This is also a mulligan. Down to 5. This is almost a mulligan. I think I have to keep this, but it's certainly not good. Get rid of Paradox Engine and one of the One Rings. We have to hope the top of our deck treats us well. Another Once Upon a Time deck. Which flavor are you? This looks like another Cradle Control. Noble Hierarch. Yeah, this is where it at least feels kind of bad not having like access to brainstorms and ponders. You are just drawing from the top of your deck. Okay, this is Elves. Another deck that has access to Collect Roof. And if we ever show them that we're an artifact deck, they will beeline for it. They might just go for it right now for 2. Hopefully they don't, but I mean, just against a blue island, like blue island, a blue basic here. Okay, that was not the thing I worried about, but this could still be kind of bad. Now this cradle counts itself. Yeah, I guess I should have gone down to 4 cards. I don't know. Another Quarian Ranger. Cradle taps for 5. No, why does it tap for 6? Oh, because what's this do? Oh, whenever you tap creature for mana. Yeah. The only saving grace. Okay, here's natural order from this loss I'm about to take is that they don't know at all what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay. Crater Hoof. GG's. Yeah, like basic island. You don't think of Coveted Jewel here. I don't think so. I don't at least have to worry about them having Collector Roof that much on the radar here. I think I'll just bring in Ugin and Chaos Defiler. I will board out what? Maybe the Latnams. Maybe that's actually incorrect because we are boarding in stuff that is trying to answer Collector Roof. So maybe like boarding out a One Ring and a Coveted Jewel is fine. Like those cards, they're not interchangeable, but they almost are. Like casting an Ugin or casting a Coveted Jewel, obviously it's different, but it's still like a big bomb. Yeah. I'll keep this. I'm certainly not thrilled, but if we find an artifact, even a Grim Monolith or something, the Transmute artifact lets us get the party started, and we do have Force of Will here. I'll play out the Otawara. Turn 1, Alsor Shepherd. Turn 2, Collector Roof is probably my nightmare here, but other than that, we should have at least a couple of turns here. Okay, big Noble Hierarch, that's fine. That's good. That means next turn we get Jewel with at least 1 copy effect. 2 if we don't have to Force of Will anything here. Gaia's Cradle. Do you say Gaia's Cradle or Gaia's Cradle? Badger Mole Cub. Okay, that's fine. So now Cradle taps for 4. Is that correct? Looks like I'll have to force something here. Quern Ranger. Okay, no. That can come in. That's not the target. That does untap the Cradle. Once Upon a Time. Paying mana for that. Don't hate it. Just don't show me Allosaur Shepherd. White of the Reliquary. That is fine. If I get to untap with 2 copy effects in hand and Coveted Jewel, then I feel pretty good. I feel like I'll probably win. But if I have to force here, I'm a little bit less certain. But then I think I'm still just prized into going for it. Untapping that guy to make black mana, I guess, to cast the white. Okay, sweet. Looks like I get to not force of will here. And there's a stock up, it's pedal, play second city, and coveted jewel, the most coveted of jewel. That was excellent. Let's copy artifact the jewel, and I think again I'll be quiet unless something happens here while I click through and execute the combo. They could have force of vigor if they were really heads up here, but we have it covered with force of will. They would need 2 force of vigors. Alright, so we've got the Paradox Engine into play. We don't currently... Oh no, we do have a copy effect here. I lost track of it, but I was going to say we don't have one, so we're going to have to start casting stock-ups. But when every stock-up also adds like 6 or 9 or 12 mana of every color, or if any one color, then it's probably fine. And I don't want to show them Chaos Defiler here. There's just no reason to do that. Don't want it to be on their radar, because this game is... or at least should be effectively over. Alright, so we found the Emrakul. Let's do it. Hopefully this prompts the concession. Maybe it doesn't. And that's fine. Pass the turn. I'm discarding with like all manners of force of wills. I'd actually prefer them to not see the One Ring because they haven't seen it yet. Maybe just keep them guessing. If they're tuned into Legacy, they'll know that that's a card in the deck, but they might not be sure. Move to combat, you take 15, lose your board. Good luck, have fun. Alright, they concede. Alrighty, so game 3. Pretty sure I just keep things chugging along like they are. Maybe Force of Negation is supposed to come in to just have more outs to like Green Sun Zenith. I'll board out the 2 Latnams. I think it is just that important. Yeah, they could have Force of Vigor, but it's mostly about Collector Roof. Oh, this is a mulligan. I have the 1 land here. I will keep this. I'll get rid of what? This is a turn 2 Show and Tell. It's also like a turn 2 the One Ring off of Grim Monolith, or I think I'm actually going to get rid of... Oh gosh, this is hard. I'll get rid of the Copy Artifact, because I think like right now, if they do get Collector Roof in, then Show and Telling something into play is probably my best out here. Alright, let's cast Grim Monolith and pass. Land Oof is my nightmare. Thoughtseize is also pretty bad, but if they had Thoughtseize and a land to cast it, they would have done that on turn 1. The more I've looked at this art, the less pleased I am with it. I'm not sure. There's something about the dude on the right, whatever that is. I don't know. Yeah, anyways, here's a Badger Mole Cub that will turn their Bayou into a 1/1 dude, and they pass. Alright, so we could just go for Ring here. Well, I mean, we are going for Ring here, but we can even do it without tapping the Grim Monolith. And we gain invulnerability. I'm going to draw a card immediately. Force of Will or of Negation would have been nice there, because this is the turn they get to 3 mana. Even without like another land, this Bayou taps for more. Uh-oh. There is a Cradle. So a lot of mana now. A lot of mana. But they have 3 cards in the hand. You'd have to assume they kept this hand on the strengths of something here. So if we're lucky, it's, I don't know, like a Craterhoof Behemoth they can cast here, but we have protection, so we get 1 more turn. If we're not that lucky, then a Collector Roof is about to be in play. Okay, that's another Badger Mole Cub. So now they have 1, 2, 7, yikes. A lot of mana here. Natural Order gets the Oof, which gets Gets things cooking here. 10 mana. Looks like a greens on Zenith. They just need the oof. They don't need the hoof. They need the oof. Unless I'm missing something. Zenith for 8. They get a Traxa maybe, but I mean, they get Crater Hoof. Did they forget that I have protection? Or are they just hoping for like a win next turn? That's also obviously fair. They're coming in hard, and then I get my turn. It feels like something like they missed their shot there. They just green sun for oof, and the game is effectively over. They have a massive board, and I have 2 lands. So maybe they forgot about the One Ring. I don't know. But I mean, we're not out of this yet. We have 3 cards to save the day. Copy Artifact can at least like give us another turn. All right. So I think maybe we get to win here. Let's yeah. So let's cast Paradox Engine, and then we will make a land here. Lose the city. So we cast Copy Artifact. That untaps our ring and the Grim Monolith. They have 1 card in hand, so it can't... Like, the only thing it can be now that is relevant is Mindbreak Trap. Copy Artifact enters. It copies the ring, I get... No! Maybe it's supposed to copy the Grim Monolith. Yeah, I think it's supposed to copy Grim Monolith. And then we draw 3 more cards. And now, because every spell untaps our ring and our 2 Grim Monoliths, we should be, like, fine here. Let's cast another ring. We keep the old ring to keep drawing lots of cards. Tap for 3, tap for 3, draw 4, play Lotus Petal. Yeah, we don't even need the we don't even need a Coveted Jewel here. I haven't tried this before. Just Paradox Engine and the One Ring, and then some monoliths. Let's cast another Grim Monolith. I mean, we drew a Coveted Jewel now anyways, so it's fine. I do want to see how far I can go without deploying a Coveted Jewel, though. It is, I guess, a little bit of a problem that we get stuck on, like, blue mana here, but... Alright, but we found the Emrakul. Let's cast that, and that should prompt the concession. And, I mean, I think for good measure, I am just going to copy my ring and get rid of it, so that I don't have to take 6 damage next turn. I'll copy the ring, keep the new one. I have like 4 times protection from everything. Alright, let's just get rid of everything that isn't Force of Will, I feel like. That was pretty sweet, like getting revenge on Cradle Control. Or I guess this is not Cradle Control, this is Elves. Did they show us why the Reliquary in this match? Or in this, yeah, I think they did. Alright, cool. A 3-1, so positive record ensured. Let's see if we can go for a 4-1 or what it will be. So on the draw for the final round, oh, this is almost good, but it's not. I have to mulligan this. And we'll keep this hand. It's a pretty sweet hand, actually. And let's, oof. Oy, oy, oy. I guess we get rid of a City of Traders here. We have the choice of turn 2 casting the One Ring or turn 2 show and tell in Coveted Jewel. Alright, so I think I'm actually going to cast the One Ring next turn and see what they have to say about that. And then if that gets countered or whatever, then the following turn I'm going to try a show and tell Jewel. There's Tamiyo. Instant flip. No Urgerts. So what I mostly hope they don't have here is a Daze. I'll happily accept any other exchange here. Daze I'll have to accept. Okay, sweet. So they Force of Will. They can't buy back the Force of Will now, but we drew another of the One Ring, so that's not even that catastrophic if they do that. So I guess something like a Narset or some like fatty Planeswalker here would be the worst thing that could happen. Thoughtseize would also be kind of bad. Thoughtseize would actually be really bad, because then they Thoughtseize me, and then they see what's up, and... Okay, never mind. Barrogoyf, I don't care about. Okay, so I think I'm just supposed to go for the show and tell here. Let's start out by casting a Grim Monolith, though. See if they... I just get a feeling if they have more counter spells. I don't think they do, though. So the worst thing they could probably put in off of the show and tell would be a Bowmasters. But then we have a ring in hand. We don't have any copy effect, though. But with all this mana, I'm hoping it'll be fine. Like the Grim Monolith and the Coveted Jewel mana. They did have Bowmasters. That's cheeky. Let's see how we do. Oh, yeah. I think we might lose this one. So I have 6 mana here, and that will become 3, or yeah, 3 after the Jewel. And if their last card in hand is Dazed, then I'll sit down and cry. This is the play. Okay, there's a Transmute artifact that can get another Jewel at least, but we are like running out of life points here. Just trying to figure out if I have a way to like get out of this. I think we have to just get another Jewel right now with the Transmute. Take another 3 and see if we can figure it out. That's not the worst. Alright, so what happens here? I go Transmute. I have 4 mana. I have 2 mana left. I Transmute a Jewel. I get Paradox Engine, 2 mana floating. Then I cast Petal that untaps all my mana. And then what? Then it's stock up? Yeah, alright, maybe this will do it. Get rid of this one. Get Paradox Engine. Cast Lotus Petal. That untaps the gang. Alright, so now we have a couple of choices here. We have 9 mana with the Petal. If I cast the One Ring, that nets 2 mana. Yeah, that should be fine. We get One Ring. That gives us protection, so Bowmasters no longer matters. And now we just draw the deck and eventually cast Emrakul. What was I even worried about? That's a copy artifact. Let's copy a Jewel. Get the Jewel. Draw some cards. And let's... So they have 7 permanents, but we can bounce something here with Otawara, so that's fine. I think we just go for it now, so we can... Again, like, it would be nice to have a Force of Will, but they have 1 card in hand, so, I mean, it doesn't matter. This is game 1. Alright, let's cast Emrakul. See, maybe they'll just want to concede here. Doesn't look like it. Let's tap some mana. We can Otawara away the Barrowgoyf, I guess. And then I will copy... Okay, they concede. Yeah, I was going to say, I was about to copy my ring to get rid of the counters so I don't take any damage, and then pass and just win the game. Alright, cool. Dimir Tempo, I guess? Prismatic Vista and Dimir Tempo is not something I would expect. Okay, we want Defense Grids, and we want Ugin and Chaos Defiler, I think. And I think we get rid of the Force of Wills, and I think like 1 ring and 1 Coveted Jewel. Not sure if maybe Lodestone Golem is like worth having. Probably not. Like, they can operate on slim margins here, and Lodestone Golem only like it. If you get to like do the Lodestone Golem, copy artifact Lodestone Golem, and suddenly you have 2 or 3 or 4, then it's obviously insane. But I think Lodestones are primarily for combo matchups, but I could be wrong. And we didn't even face Oops once. That kind of was a little bit anticlimactic. Yeah, okay, I'll keep this hand. It's kind of slow and unprotected. I wouldn't mind a defense grid here, but no turn 1 Thoughtseize. I like that. We play an island and pass. Opponent is brainstorming. Transmute artifact. That is not a bad one. I think I will play the Lotus Petal. It's usually really nice to keep Lotus Petals, as we just saw in game 1, for the ability to trigger Paradox Engine for no mana, but I want to not get dazed here, ideally. If they want to consign a memory this, then I'm happy enough to take that exchange, but yeah. And let me just check. This draws cards, yeah. So Bowmasters, Pew Pews this. Baleful Strix, my one weakness. 1/1 flyers. Obviously, this does actually... it does actually flip off Emrakul, right? If they have 7 permanents. So we could, like, YOLO Coveted Jewel here against their 5-card hand that is clearly kind of reactive. We could also... We could transmute artifact, right? If we transmute and we tap the Grim Monolith, then they pretty much have to force. Right? It doesn't get gobbled up by, It doesn't get gobbled up by consigned memory. We have to tap the Grim Monolith though, because you don't get a window to tap it like as Transmute is resolving. But basically it means if they force of Will to Transmute, we'll have 3 mana here. And then I guess we could just cast a Metamorph for those 3 mana and 2 life and get a Strix and draw a card. I think I actually kind of like that. I would imagine this gets countered. I mean, what else are they doing with their life over there? And if it doesn't, I might just get Chaos Defiler, because if they have a consign, then they can just consign the ETB of Jewel, and then they have a creature that attacks, steals Jewel. We don't want that. Okay, that just happened. Sweet. We'll get rid of the Grim Monolith and get Chaos Defiler. And I mean, they could have consign for this, but they need to get rid of the Defiler. They need to get rid of the Defiler to not have it get copied next turn. But they lost their Strix. Let's hope they can't just remove this. Like they don't have like Shieldred's Edict or a Bitter Triumph or something, but I mean, that's certainly possible. Yeah, Kaito is fine. They're gonna stun this, but I'm gonna copy it next turn, and the next turn, and the next turn. I think I'll play the Otawara just in case they have something weird like Double Days, which Force of Negation. Okay, I mean that is pretty good. I can't relaunch right now. They're plussing this. Yeah, okay, because they stunned, so they can't actually. They can't do the thing. I wonder if it's worth the Petal and a Coveted Jewel in my hand to cast Latinam, just to get two things. Probably not. Like if they have Bowmasters, then it's kind of annoying. We already have a copy effect here. I guess no longer. Alright, this changes things. This means I will Latinam, I think, because they're going to take the Metamorph. Okay, 1 card in hand. Does it do anything? I will Latinam here, just because I think I need to move along here and see some more cards. Get rid of a Coveted Jewel. Now they have, of course, the Bowmasters. They are, at least, it looks like they were casting a spell. It said paying costs as soon as this one had finished resolving. I draw Emrakul and a City of Traders. Emrakul is fine. Or rather, City of Traders is fine. Grim Monolith lets us Jewel now, but I don't think we can afford to. Yeah. They know we can Jewel now. We know that they know that we know that they know. They're going to draw cards with this guy, but I'm at 13. So what happens here if I Jewel and I hit 1 copy effect, I then get to copy the Chaos Defiler, kill Kaito, but then they get to take my Jewel. I think I have to pass here and hope. Just hope for the best and know that we'll have a lot of mana next turn, but not that much life. We'll be taking 4, 7, 8 damage. We'll be at 5. I wonder if they stun my thing again here, because it will untap next turn. Fetch to thin, I guess. I think they probably will minus here to surveil. Oh, they have more Bowmasters. Yikes. Okay. I'm at 3. And now I actually can't. Not now. Oh, yeah, now, because they dealt me like 2 more damage with the second Bowmasters. So I can't even like Coveted Jewel, really. Okay. They Thoughtseize us here. They take the Jewel. So we have to hope for a copy effect. And what does that even really do? Yeah, I think they have us here, unfortunately. Well, we do get a copy effect. So we can copy our Defiler. Yeah, so if I copy Defiler, I kill... Okay, so I kill Kaito, copy Defiler, kill their army, then they attack me down to 1. 1 is not dead, so this Defiler has to kill the army. Oh, rather, they attack me down to 1 to 2 because I have a blocker. Oh yeah, that's right. Maybe I was supposed to attack first to not let them know that this was coming. I mean, they can't save Kaito anyways. Okay, we pass. We're at 3. This is clutch. Oof, Brainstorm. What a card to draw. But I mean, I drew my best card, so what a card to draw, right? Alright, they found a Ponder. Ponder actually shuffled, so that's good. They attack with both things. Maybe they have a Kaito. In any case, I am blocking the one that I can block. They found Kaito. Oh, that's so gross. Oh man, the Ponder shuffles, finds Kaito, kills me. Alright, it's off to game number 3. Do I want 1 or 2 lodestone golems here. I almost feel like I do. Maybe just one, and I'll remove a stock up for that. So it's like one thing that gets countered. This, like, lodestone gets countered by consign, but stock up gets countered by force of negation. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. Oh man, that was close. They shuffled the ponder into that Kaito, and I mean they drew a brainstorm, and that obviously looks at cards, and it was likely that they would find something. Um, but it was very close. I think if they hadn't attacked, like let's say the ponder shuffles and gives them nothing, like a counter spell or a land, then I untap. They were at 13, I believe. So if I send my 2/5 force with trample, they probably just take it because taking 10 or taking 8 doesn't make that big of a difference, and it leaves them with bowmasters. And then they have one more draw step to find what basically has to be, I guess, Kaito, Barrowolf, or bowmasters to not then die. Yeah. Anyway, it was close. It was a cool game. All right, game number 3. This is close. 2 cities. It's pretty awkward. I will keep. Yeah, I'm not in love with this at all. I think I have to lead on island, which means I can't go turn 2 ring. But going turn 1 city and then turn 2 city ring gets countered, I'm left with 1 city. Not so good. All right, they mulligan to 6. All right, prismatic. I think my best draw right now is probably defense grid. Truth be told, they have a turn 1 Tameo. That's fine. Defense grid. Nope. Okay, Ugin. Hugin is not the worst. All right. Here's City of Traders. I wish it wasn't that. I wish it was a ancient tomb. And looks like they are interested in doing something here. The basic swamp is interesting. Clearly, I don't play Wasteland. It might just be a whatever, they don't care, or it might be that this is a more basics-centered deck that, and back to basics is part of their plan. Okay, so they take our ring, so now we don't have a good play next turn. I suppose we could try the Paradox Engine, but I really don't want that countered. If that ever ends up in the graveyard, then it kind of means we can't really combo. Alright, Ponder did not shuffle. It's a little bit scary. I think my best draw here is land. Not that land! I was going to say land, but not City of Traders. Yeah. City of Traders screwing us over here. They didn't shuffle the Ponder. Maybe it's worth it to try and cast the Paradox Engine and like have it eat a Force of Will. Maybe this isn't the game. Like maybe this game isn't going to be about Paradox Engine anyways. And because we have Ugin, and we can transmute for Chaos Defiler and stuff. Yeah, I think I will try that. Like I'll lose 2 cards here if they force, as long as they don't daze me, which would be kind of bad here. Then I think it's fine. I know I just said earlier that we can't really combo off. Okay, they just let that happen. Interesting. So either they identify that it's not really that important, they have an answer for it, or they just weren't able to. Ancient Tomb. Okay. So Ancient Tomb gets us to Ugin mana next turn, if we want to. Is there any world where I want to copy Tameo with my Metamorph? I don't think so. No, let's just pass. Is this Bowmaster's time or crack a clue time? Just cracking them clues. I mean, this obviously does just nothing when there are no other artifacts in play, or non-land permanents, I guess. Does that mean that it actually were to untap Ugin if somehow there was a way to tap Planeswalkers? I guess so. Oh, what was I saying? I got to 7 mana next turn? No, we get to permanently having 5 mana next turn with this Ancient Tomb. Tameo is about to flip. They have 7 cards in hand. This is going to be hard. Did they also find Thoughtseize? Looks like they did not. Defense Grid? You don't say. So this is probably like a must counter for them, right? Unfortunately, this doesn't untap my lands. Force of Negation. And we pass. This was a nice time to do this because they didn't have consign mana up, so Ugin would have triggered if I had caster, or him, or it, whatever it is. Ugin. Ugin sounds Nordic, like from my neck of the woods, like one of those old Norse things. Okay, they are going for the win here. Land, no. Okay, I think I'm just dead. think we have one shot, which is to draw. It has to be a soul land. There aren't that many left. There is one City of Traders and 3 Ancient Tombs. Um, it's either that or it's a blue mana to transmute, I guess. Those are my outs. But the blue mana and then transmute artifact dies to any counterspell. The soul land and Ugin only dies to consign to memory. Yeah, Bowmasters, sure. I guess I could draw Otawara and bounce Tamio as well. That's also an out. Yeah, this doesn't do it, right? I mean, I can copy Bowmasters. Then at least they would have to get rid of the Bowmasters. Which I'm sure they can, but let's just for funsies' sake cast this Grim Monolith here. Give them a chance to blow a counterspell on that. And they do, they Force of Will. I don't believe for a second that this is gonna win me the game, but they did give us a window here if they don't have another Force of Will. I think it has to be Force of Will, right? Or Daze, I guess. Cracking a Clue. So that is in. That copies the Bowmasters and it kills Bowmasters. And now they have to have a removal spell, basically. So if they have another Bowmasters, it's fine. If they have Fatal Push or whatever, they kill my Bowmasters, they just draw their deck. But if they don't, then drawing the deck is not trivial. In fact, it's lethal, unless they have an instant speed win, which they don't, or Veil of Summer, which they also don't. Well, they know right now if I'm dead. Like, if they can get to just draw with Tamio, I'm tapped out here. Oh, wow, they're minusing. I guess they're taking my Ugin then. Yeah, that's not even that bad. Like, honestly, it's great because I didn't die. But it's also, I think, pretty interesting here. If I get a blue mana, a second blue mana, I can start transmuting stuff. Yeah, taking Ugin seems right. Man, I hope their hand is full of Ponders and Brainstorms. Second blue mana. Oh, is this Murktide? That'd be kind of rough. I do worry that they might have a Force of Negation still. They have spent one. Right, okay. They're attacking me. Okay. So if I get to transmute here, I get to kill the Murktide and put 2 on Tamio. Oh no. Okay, I think that's it. Maybe one more chance here, and I'll pass. I'll take 7 next turn, and they can buy back Force of Will. Yeah, they can buy back Force of Will here, and then I guess nothing matters. Yeah, then it's all about Otawara, I guess. Ooh, Null Rod. Okay. Okay. Suddenly, things got pretty unpleasant. Keeping back the army this time. Okay. I think it has to be blue mana, and then we just hope that the three other cards isn't Force of Will. No, this isn't really anything. This gives me a blocker for 1 turn at the cost of 2 life. Yeah, and we know they have the Force of Will, so. Alright. GG's opponent, they had the consign to memory anyways. So they would have been able to cover my Chaos Defiler trigger. Alright, that was fun. I really am getting a little bit of a hang for this deck. I am struggling to push into the 4-1 and 5-0 territory as of yet. I seem to be getting all 3 2s, which is still nice. I mean, it's still positive records. The thing is, I really have felt it paying off to play this deck a lot. I feel like I am missing way fewer things now, which is obviously hard to say for sure, but I can tell already now by the experiences that I've had that in the first couple of times I played this deck, the first good while actually, I conceded too quickly in certain situations. I just didn't see the lines. This, I think, is a deceptively tricky deck to play well, and I think you stand to gain a whole lot of marginal stuff if you squeeze every bit out of it. Um, like figuring out how to unravel the knot or undo the knot, as in a sense, like what we did in that game against the Bowmasters, where I thought for a while that it was just hopeless, but then I figured out how it worked and what I needed to draw, and I got lucky and I drew the stuff I needed. But that's just that sort of thing has just been becoming more apparent to me as I played the game, the deck more. So this is just to say, if you're interested in this deck, expect to lose quite a bit early on, and then expect that like you're going to be gaining, like upping your skill level with this deck pretty tremendously after what is a pretty steep learning curve. I think we're pretty, maybe it'll feel like a slow start. Um, yeah, I think this deck is kind of fun, and pretty cool. I wish I could build it in paper, but yeah, maybe one day. I think I have like two City of Traders in my binder, and that's probably it with regards to the expensive cards in this deck. So I sold my. I had a commander deck once, and I played it a couple of times. Then it just wasn't for me, and I had a Grim Monolith in there, but I sold that one to buy Black Border Duels for Legacy. Hey, go figure. All right. Anyways, that's enough yapping. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like the channel, if you like Legacy, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps. It's free to do, all that jazz. It would be a tremendous help. Thanks so much. Stay safe, and I'll be back with some more Legacy. Bye-bye.